Hi, I'm Steven Herrera. This is day 3 of my seasonal sales associate position. It's almost 2 o'clock p.m., which is the start time of my shift today. I'll be working until store closing, which is at 11 p.m. So it's going to be a long day, but I'm excited about it because I can carry forward the lessons learned from yesterday. As I reflect on yesterday, I think about what I could do differently today. I think about being more mindful in the moment and staying calm instead of allowing the hustle and bustle and the oftentimes difficult customers cause me to be nervous or upset. You just have to take the good customers with the difficult customers. I think about a couple of incidents yesterday. There was a woman who asked me if she could buy toys at this checkout, and I said yes. I said, but there's a line though, because I thought she did not see the line for our bank of registers, and I thought she was going to approach my register after she asked whether toys could be accepted there. So she got upset by that and said, I know there's a line. I was just asking if I could buy toys here before I stood in the line. So next time, it's best to just give a minimal answer. If a customer asks a question that can be answered with a yes or no, then just say yes or no and let that be the end of it. Go right back to the transaction that you're in the middle of. And that's what I'm going to do. If a customer asks me a question, I'll simply quickly turn, say yes or no, or I'm not sure, or that I don't know, and go right back into the transaction I was working on. And another incident towards the end of the night, late at night, there was a woman who was purchasing merchandise with a colleague. Another sales associate was handling the customer, and I was handling my own customer. And the coworker turned to me and needed help because the customer was paying for part of the purchase with a $50 prepaid Visa debit card. And she was trying to pay for the balance of the purchase after the $50 debit card with her own personal debit card, I guess it was. And apparently with this point of sale system, you can't pay with 2 different debit cards. So it was giving an error message indicating that you can only pay for the purchase with 1 debit card. So I said there's no way around that. Apparently the coworker canceled the transaction, but the woman got upset because she thought that she lost the $50 from the debit card, even though the colleague canceled the transaction. So the $50 stayed on the card. It did not get used, but the customer did not understand that. So I didn't know exactly what happened. I didn't know if the colleague canceled the purchase, but the woman said, I've already lost my $50. I said, ma'am, it's best if you go to the area that we have that's called customer service. There's a customer service area. So I recommended that the woman go to the customer service area. I said, they can best help you. Your best bet is to go there. And she was upset. And I went back to my transaction because I was helping another customer. And apparently the colleague walked the customer over to the customer service area, and the customer wanted my coworker to stay there with her. I was told this after the fact, until the transaction was finished. So the customer was able to use the $50 debit card. The $50 was still on the card. And then I was told that she paid for the rest in cash, which she could have done at the registers where we were working, but for whatever reason she chose not to. So everything worked out. The customer was able to make her purchase with the Visa debit card with the $50 that was on it and paid for the rest in cash. I think the learning experience is just to say, ma'am, you can only pay with 1 debit card. Do you have another form of payment, maybe a credit card or cash? And then say, I'm right in the middle of a transaction right now, but I'll help you after I'm finished. So just a couple of learning experiences from yesterday. I hope I can carry those experiences forward today and better handle the situations that I face today. Well, that's it. Bye. Hi. I just finished my shift for today. I started at 2 p.m. and my ending time was supposed to be 11 p.m., which was the closing time for the store, but it is now 11:55 p.m., so I'm 55 minutes over my ending time for today. Today was insane. There was a lot of customers all day. Once again, I was working in the kids department, and I was handling non-stop customers who had toys, kids' clothes, and other items from the store. And it was just a lot of work today. I was able to take my breaks at about the right times. I had a 15-minute break at about 4:30. That was about on schedule. Then I had a meal break at 6:30, and I took that on time. And then I had another break at about 9:30 p.m. So I did a little bit better in terms of taking breaks at the right times. It just so happened that there was another colleague there who was able to take over my register when it was about time for me to go on break, so that worked out. Another situation later was that the line of customers ended, so there were no more customers and it was time for me to take my break, so that worked out. So a little bit better today on taking the breaks on schedule, which was good. But I had some heavy hitters today, customers with a lot of merchandise. I had one customer, it seemed like he had at least 2 of every item in the store. It was just a big order, a lot of merchandise. It took a long time to go through the process of ringing up his items, and it really ended up being about half as much in terms of his total than he expected it to be because the prices were so low. Then I had another customer at the end who was buying merchandise for 4 kids, and so he had 4 separate orders. So just a lot of merchandise, a lot of time spent on customers that had big orders that they were purchasing. And then at the end, I had a long line of customers. It was 11 o'clock closing time, and I was the only one there in the area that had 4 registers of the kids department. So I was having to handle one customer at a time, and like I said, I had that one customer at the end that had 4 kids he was buying merchandise for, and then I had this long line of customers still waiting. So some of the customers apparently went over to the customer service area to get their transactions done because they're waiting in line for a long time. I had, at the end when the store was officially closing, for whatever reason, the customer response unit at my register shut down, so I couldn't move forward with any transactions. So I actually had to walk my customer over to the customer service area, and the manager of that area asked me to please help out. So I went ahead and just worked there at the customer service area, and I handled the customer that I brought over, and then I continued to handle more customers there until the line of customers finally ended. So it's unfortunate that there weren't more colleagues working the registers in the kids area at the end of the day. I was the only one there. There should have been more colleagues there supporting me to handle that long line of customers. I don't see how I ended up being the only one working there. Doesn't make sense. It's so close to Christmas Eve, and there's a lot of customers making purchases at the last minute, so there should have been more colleagues working the registers in the kids department. So it's unfortunate that I ran overtime today. I know I get paid for it, but it's very late at night. Like I said, I got out of there and starting this vlog at 11:55 minutes over my ending time. But I'm gonna start my next shift tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I'm going to work all the way till 7 p.m. So I'm starting 2 hours after the store opens. The store opens at 8 a.m. I'm starting at 10 a.m. and then I'm ending at 7 p.m., which is the time the store closes. So I'm working 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I hope things will run smoothly tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve and I'll see how it goes. I hope for the best, and I'll talk about tomorrow's shift in my next vlog. Bye.